All right, first of all, how does it feel to be Super Bowl champ?
Man, world champion, man. God is good, you know. It was all a part of the plan, so I'm just happy to be here.
Everyone wants to know how you're feeling. We all saw you got the first touchdown of the game, then you got injured. What happened? What did you find out?
We don't know yet. Well, we're going to wait to hear, but, you know, I was trying to go back out there. You know, Doc's just going to take care of you, so I'm just happy to be here, man. God is good.
What did they tell you, though?
We don't know. Yep.
And a lot of people saw you, you know, having tears and all the emotions. What was going through your mind as you were trying to figure out what was going on with you at the same time trying to battle with your teammates?
Everything I've ever dreamed of, you know. And there was a moment I was in the back room and they told me I was done, I couldn't play, and I had to come back out there and be a part of this because it's so much bigger than myself. And these boys pulled through and made it happen. So it's nothing but love, Joe.
And what was the relief off your shoulders when Cooper Kupp scored the winning touchdown?
I already knew he was going to score. You already know.
All right, congratulations. Yep. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Odell also took to Twitter to share this simple thought. This was exactly God's plan. The man who started the season with Cleveland finishes it in L.A. and finishes it on the mountaintop. And RP2, one half of the All Things Covered podcast, weighing in, and I know many share this opinion. Every Super Bowl should be played on grass. Angry face at NFL. Well, it would not be an NFL Sunday or a Super Bowl Sunday here on HQ without a post-game check-in with our CBS senior NFL insider Josina Anderson, because when the final horn sounds, folks, her day has just begun. Joe, we're going to unpack all the Odell news in a couple moments here, but from the second that confetti began to fall to where you're at right now, take us through the sights and sounds of what it was like in the wake of Super Bowl 56.
Well, man, it was just an incredible exhilaration for the Rams, you know, going from being down 20-16 to the Bengals to Cooper Kupp coming up with that immaculate touchdown, if you will. And even as I was making my way down the tunnel before that they scored that game-winning touchdown, I actually ran into Odell Beckham Jr.'s mother, also ran into his sister. And it was just, you know, kind of moments of hugs about, you know, obviously the injury that happened to her son and obviously, you know, the sister. And then the game just changed. And after that, all the media was just filing down to the podium areas that they had underneath the stadium. And the first person I talked to was Eric Weddle, who's always the loudest, by the way. You can hear him from a mile away, and he's just celebrating with Von Miller, and he tells everybody quickly, first of all, I am retiring. I tore my pec. I'm having surgery, but I'm a world champ, and I don't care. I was talking to Von Miller about his son, Valor, and asking him, you know, what would he share, you know, about this experience, winning his second Super Bowl, and he was just telling him all the things that I tell myself as a player, to continue to work hard, continue to persevere, all those other things. So really it was everyone's reflections, you know, after the game. Even Sean McVay, I mean, we're seeing right now the emotions of Odell Beckham Jr. after, you know, the injury. I mean, you talk about the passion just exuding from him, and also the exhilaration, the triumph from players like Andrew Whitworth to be over 40 and to have this experience here. And then you're just looking at Matthew Stafford. I mean, this is a collection of players who came together as blue chip talents, and Sean McVay was able to kind of interweave all of their skill sets to come to this point. And this is a great opportunity for Sean McVay to, you know, basically come back after losing in Atlanta, only scoring 3 points. And you could tell that this offense was well on their way to do more. Even Von Miller said after the game, had OBJ not got injured, that he was on his way to an MVP day. So just a lot of emotion spilling over. You saw even Aaron Donald at the podium with his family, everyone getting on the golf carts, leaving, yelling, we're world champs, coming out of the locker room where there was a lot of hip hop being played. Cedric the Entertainer came out of there. Anthony Anderson came out of there. A lot of champagne, all this other stuff. So I don't know who else was in there. But the point is that they were all wearing their black hats, showing everybody that they were Super Bowl champs.
And it was a hat and a T-shirt day, and everybody is coveting those. The goal was clear 5 months ago, and it is a goal achieved on Sunday night. As you put it, layers of celebration here, intertwined with career goals realized, and it did not come without a price. As you've done all season, Josina, you keep us tapped in with all things OBJ. He gets in the end zone, as you said in Von's word, looked great in space, another grab earlier, and then his night gets cut short on that non-contact knee injury. What more can you share from your conversation with him post-game, what you observed post-game, some of those conversations with his family, and where Odell's at right now?
Well, we spoke Saturday morning just over text, and I could tell that he was just trying to keep everything calm, collect himself, not overuse too much energy. And he was just saying, God is good, everything feels well. And he was just constantly repeating the word that he's been repeating leading up to the Super Bowl, which is that alignment. Everything feels aligned. From his, personal life to his professional life, coming into this moment. And you could tell that he had a great lather coming into the game, and that spilled over into his performance on the field. Everyone, even in the press box, was like, he looks ready, he looks ready. And then for him to suffer that injury, no contact injury, and immediately grab his knee, the same one that he suffered week 7 of last year against the Bengals, no less, the same team. Same knee, the irony there. And, I was just like, oh my gosh. And let me tell you, normally, I just knew if I didn't hear from him after that point, I knew that it was bad. And that's just because I've covered him from a long time. I know I would have heard, if it was going to be something different. And when I didn't hear, I knew. And then the sideline showed the cutaways of the tears and the absolute agony, because the amount of work, days at UCLA, training in LA, all the agility drills, training with Jamal Liggins, all of this stuff leading up to this point, and to finally get to the moment of your dreams. And you're playing beyond your wildest imagination, and to have that happen is just utter agony. I saw it in his mother's face after the game. We had a long embrace, and that's just because, and that's not even as Josina the reporter, that is just seeing someone's mother and everything that she was carrying. So, this is why they call this game, it's the triumph of defeat, the agony of pain, whatever that is. And you know what I'm trying to say? And it's just a lot of yin-yang of emotions. But at the end, you saw in that interview that I had with him, he said, it's all love now because we won.
Yeah, he worked hard to be in this moment, and I'm sure it's not the way he pictured it going down, but he is now a Super Bowl champ, something that no one will ever be able to take from him. There is work likely out in front of him as we head into the offseason. Josina, you get a front row seat here to some of the greatest moments this game we love has to offer week in and week out, year in and year out. You always help us feel like we're sitting right there next to you. What's going to be your lasting image of this season when you look back on it?
Boy, there's just, there's so many. I mean, one of the first things that's going to obviously stick with me, and I shared this on Twitter, is Odell Beckham Jr. FaceTiming me from the locker room after the game, and that was his way of telling me that he was okay. I've covered him for a long time, and to me that just epitomized, the realization of a dream. This is what all of these players work for, whether it's Aaron Donald, whether it's Von Miller, I mean, even Robert Woods, who wasn't able to participate in this game, walked out of that locker room smiling with his hat on, because despite the fact that he was not at SoFi today, he was a part of the contribution to get here. So seeing everybody just file out, embrace their families, this is what it's all about. Ultimately, we work to live and not live to work, so that you can have moments like this.
Josina, fantastic stuff as always from Super Bowl 56, keeping us up to the moment with all the latest. A fantastic season. We thank you as always for the insight.
Thank you.
Well, it was a different type of celebration for Van Jefferson, who quickly left the stadium. His wife went into labor during the game, and there he is holding his newborn baby. Van Jefferson, a Super Bowl champion with multiple reasons to celebrate on Sunday. And here's some more reaction rolling in from across the NFL. Jamar Chase on the wrong end of this one. The young man putting it quite simply, damn. We'll also hear from a number of other players. Deshaun Jackson, who remember was a Ram earlier in the season, cut in November. Never had any hate in me. Congrats, Rams. And Kyler Murray, someone who we'll hear plenty from this offseason. Shouting out Matthew Stafford. Congrats, bro. Russell Wilson also sending some love to Stafford as well. Congrats to Matthew Stafford and the Rams.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.